I recently watched a Netflix documentary. It was something my mother had recommended to me, and I reluctantly agreed to sit down and watch it with her. That documentary was titled The Social Dilemma. It talked about how social media has become such a large part of our lives and how these large tech corporations use addictive methods to keep people using their sites. The one thing that struck out to me the most was how these companies made money. A quote in the documentary stated, "If you're not paying for the product, you are the product." This was used to describe how companies sell your viewership to other companies through methods like advertisements. We are living in a time where companies use what we do online to make money, and it's nothing we really haven't seen before. We need to go back in history to look at advertising, to look at how companies sell our data today. United States advertising had European roots and usually began in the newspaper in around colonial America in the 1700s. Newspapers carried most of the ads until World War I, when the radio became widespreadly used and companies could sell to anyone who listened to a specific channel. In World War II, commercial TV became the new way for ads to reach consumers, where you could physically see whatever the advertiser wanted you to. And most recently, the internet has become the newest medium to contain advertising. And this is where we see a shift in how advertising is conducted and handled by different companies. The first online advertisement was for the now tech site Wired. After this, advertising began to bloom in the age of the internet with sites selling their space to advertisers. This is where things take a turn. According to Alea Fate, senior fellow at Wharton Customer Analytics and a Drexel marketing professor, it's really a problem in my mind because the consumer doesn't necessarily know that their data is being sold to a third-party broker. Now, who is this third-party broker? They take information sold by companies and sell it to other ones to use for their own personal gain. No one really knows who it's being sold to, but the companies that buy the data from these brokers use it to specifically target people who might be prone to buying products at the time that they see them. The history of advertising is more important than it seems in this case. Advertising is a large portion of why companies might sell user data to other companies or third-party brokers. But why is this important in the sphere of global society? The reason is simple. This affects everyone who uses the internet or any kind of advanced technology. This isn't about just you and me. This is about the people who want to keep what they do online private. Would you want your parents' or grandparents' information sold to companies that could make money off them? Recently, a Vermont bill passed in 2018 asked these data brokers to register annually in the state of Vermont in order to see who deals in user information. This revealed over 121 different data brokers that deal in third-party user info, like credit companies, advertising, and marketing corporations. According to Stephen Melendez and Alex Pasternak, these 121 entities represent just a fraction of the broader data economy. The Vermont law only covers third-party data firms whose trafficking in the data of people with whom they have no relationship to, as opposed to the first-party data holders like Amazon, Facebook, or Google, which collect their own enormous piles of detailed data directly from their users. There are so many more companies that deal in collecting and selling our user information to others. Once again, these massive companies target the unknowledgeable and vulnerable people they do not who know that they could sell their products to. This can range from anywhere from young children who are seeing these advertisements for the first time to the elderly who are prone to buy things more in bulk. Now that we know who's collecting the data and who it impacts, we can look at what is being done about it right now. The largest thing that is being done currently is laws are being put in place to stop these kinds of things. As I speak, a new California proposition is being voted on that will expand the CCPA, or California Consumer Privacy Act of 2018, which will protect more people and give them the choice to let companies sell their information to brokers and/or other companies. The people that might want to let companies sell their data are more than likely only the companies themselves. However, there are a select few individuals who are willing to sell their own data to these other companies and brokers in order to gain a profit. While that is true, most people want to keep their information private from people trying to make money off of it. This is true for most people who use things like VPNs or other ways to stop people from looking at what they do. Speaking of VPNs, you can do something right now to take action against these companies and corporations. VPNs are a good way of keeping what you do on the internet private to you, as VPNs connect you to an IP address that is not yours but is used publicly by other users of the VPN. This makes sure that you are not directly connected to what you look at on the internet. Data privacy is a huge and controversial topic in the public and private sectors. People want to keep their information safe, while companies want the right to do what they want with technology or websites. These problems affect everyone in the global tech sphere and should be continued to be talked about and discussed for public benefit. Thank you.